Hello, and welcome to My Streaming Bubble, the podcast where I talk about the streamable media I love with the people I tolerate. I am your TV watching and talking host, Jen, and today my podcast brain twin and host of her podcasts, It's a Fandom Thing and It's a Dean Thing, and also my co-host for our podcast, Twin It to Win It, Erin, is back in the bubble because one, she loves to be tolerated, and two, so she and I can gush about the bestest boy in horror movies, the puppy-faced floof that deserves all the treats and the belly rubs, Indy the dog, as we talk about his film debut in Good Boy. Welcome, Erin. Hello.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me on, and just showing off my shirt again. I've got my Good Boy shirt on, and I'm ready to talk about this film. And Indy, in particular, is really what I'm excited to talk about, is the dog. So.
Well, because he's the best boy. Oh my gosh.
He is, yes.
So, yes, of course, thanks for joining me today. I knew you would be the first one to sign up for this movie as soon as I added it, so I'm glad it worked out.
Me too. I would have been very sad.
Yes. It's kind of one of those where I'm like, if I don't have Erin on, that just feels wrong and just not right. So we have to do what we can to make the world a happy, good place. Like having Erin on talk about this movie. So,
Aww.
All right. Well, we will go ahead and get right into it. So consider this your spoiler warning. If you haven't watched the movie, pause the pod, watch the thing, and come back. Welcome back. So before we get started, content warnings for the bestest boy, the cutest doggy in horror movies, just the bestest boy. I'm talking like he's here. It's like he's the bestest boy. All right. And what IMDb says, a loyal dog moves to a rural family home with his owner, only to discover supernatural forces lurking in the shadows. As dark entities threaten his human companion, the brave pup must fight to protect the one he loves most. And what I says about this movie, I says, this dog is distractingly adorable. Like, how can I be properly scared when he's just a floofy little face?
Be properly scared.
So I apologize. I guess this episode's going to be a lot of me doing baby dog talk. All right. It was written by Alex Cannon and Ben Leonberg and directed by Ben Leonberg and stars Indy the dog, Shane Jensen, Ariel Friedman, Larry Fessenden, and Max as Bandit. It is streamable on the Hulu, Disney, HBO Plus, blah, 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 whatever it is. One of those three. Rent or buy on streamers. But most importantly, you can get the DVD free from your local library.
I think you can still watch it on Shudder since it's a Shudder movie.
Oh, okay.
I think you can still watch it there. I could be wrong, but
I trust you. I don't have the Shudder. I want the Shudder, but there's so many streaming services. And then my kids are like, we want PlayStation Plus. And I love them, so fine. We can have PlayStation Plus, and I won't have Shudder. That's all right. All right. So, Erin, what are your general thoughts on this movie?
Well, I love this movie. I was so excited about this movie last year because I remember it was at South by Southwest in 2025, like early 2025, and I kept hearing all these people talk about it because it's such a unique take on a horror film that really has never been done before. And everything really is from the dog's perspective, really. And so that really hasn't been done before. And it's something, though, that you're like, why hasn't this been done before? Because it seems so obvious and dogs and animals in general are very perceptive of things that we don't see. And you will have that where your dog stares in the corner and you're like, what are you looking at? There's nothing there. And so it can freak you out. And so I was really, really intrigued by that concept. And I'm a dog person, always have been. I'm an animal person in general, but dogs especially. And so I was very, very excited once this film got picked up, because when it was at South by Southwest, it didn't have a distributor. And once I knew I could see it, I just really love this movie. I don't find this movie scary. I do think there are moments in this movie where it's very hard to watch because Indy is put through a lot in this movie. And that's why I know a lot of people were like, I mean, when this movie was the trailer dropped, like the doesthedogdie.com, that website got searched like over 1 million times or something just to see if Indy died. Which
I believe
I
it.
get it. I totally get it. And he is put through a lot. He's put through a lot. But I think, the dog is so Indy, who's playing himself, is so natural because he's not a trained dog. He is the director's dog. He really learned on the job, and so I think in a way that makes it better than if it had been like 10 dogs playing this dog and it was a really highly trained dog and everything like that, because all the work that went into making this movie. And I just think it's a really interesting exploration of the thing that we don't really talk about as much as how do dogs handle the loss of their owner if their owner dies before they do, because we all know when we get pets that chances are we will outlive our pets. And it's one of the hardest parts of having a pet. But we don't really think about the other part about, because dogs aren't going to understand what exactly is going on. So seeing how Indy is basically, because there's lots of other interpretations of this movie, but I interpret it, this is a dog dealing with the fact that his owner is dying and he's seeing death coming for his owner and he can't save his owner. And that's what a dog is supposed to do. And so watching this dog so confused and so desperate to save his owner and doesn't know what's going on and even has like a ghost dog trying to help him. It's so heartbreaking and so sad to watch because you don't ever really talk about that because it's usually the opposite. And so I thought that was such an interesting concept, and watching a dog actually make a choice in the end to survive or to stay there like the other dog did and end up dying. And the fact that when he makes that choice and you as an audience are like, please just leave, Indy.
Yeah.
And when he finally makes that choice, I mean, I don't know, that was just edge of your seat kind of thing. And, this wasn't done like a gimmick. It wasn't done like where there's talking animals. That would have been horrible.
Oh, God.
It wasn't done anything like that. It was very believable and made you just love your animals more. And yeah, Indy was just a star and just absolutely incredible. I mean, probably the best performance from a dog I've ever seen. And I know a lot of it's manipulation, a lot of it's editing and everything like that. But still, his face, that face, it's just that face is so damn expressive that he's a natural. So I know that wasn't really brief. I'm sorry, but
It's all right.
Do a lot more.
I know what I'm getting into when I have certain people on the pod and I ask them how they feel about things I know they love.
But I also want to respect your time because I understand how frustrating that can be too. So,
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I freaking love this movie. Indy is so stinking cute. And like the first time I watched it, I was like, I knew he was going to live and everything, but I was so stressed out for him because like, he's being put through all this stressful stuff. He's seeing the creepy shadows. He's trying to like be there for his owner, but he's limited because he's a dog and he doesn't have thumbs and can't like speak words. But so Indy is, like I said, is adorably distracting. But I was nervous for him at times. But overall, I love this movie because I completely agree. It's a great take on horror movies. It's a great way to kind of just to experience it again through the dog's perspective, and everything we see. Yeah, it's from his level. And I love that. But it's like, it's such a great use also of like angles and shadows because everything is from Indy's perspective. And so I like how it really does kind of the creepy almost a little subtle because like you'll see the shadow, like you'll blink and be like, oh shit, there's a shadow there. Has it always been there kind of thing? Or you feel like when you're watching something and you don't see the shadows right away, but you just kind of have that uneasy feeling. There are moments like that in this movie, which I really, really like. And it is just watching a horror movie starring the dog, right? Like if you watch this and you think of Indy as any other like human character, whether it was the sister, a partner, a friend, or anything like that, it would have been probably, I mean, it would have been like a horror movie with a person. But so like this is a horror movie, but like starring the dog, and we follow the dog uncovering this mystery, and he does such a good job.
Yeah.
And then yes, the ghost dog Max is also just a good, or Bandit, I'm sorry, Max is the dog's name.
Real, the real name, yeah.
Getting confused, sorry.
No, it's
But yeah, being led by the ghost dog, trying to show him like, here's what happened to like Grandpa, the other owner, and it's just so good. It's weird to say that this is a lot of fun, but it's really fun in the sense that it is a different take, a different view on a horror movie. And I was reading a couple of quick reviews like on IMDb. And I usually only ever read like the first few sentences that pop up because I usually don't agree and then they make me mad. But I saw one review and it said something like, yeah, you know, it was good, but like I wanted more about the haunting. It's like, but you don't, right? Like it's, if you've seen horror movies and you've seen hauntings, you know, slow descent into being taken over, what have you, like you can kind of suss it all together, right? Like we don't need the fine line details of what's going on with Todd and the family. Like, I feel like they gave us enough to know, like, okay, this is kind of what's going on. But then all those fine details, you can kind of make up on your own and it all still works. You know what I mean? Like, there's no like holes where you're just like, this doesn't make any sense. It's just, we know what Indy knows and he's a dog. Yeah. So, you know, he can't communicate with Todd or Todd's sister or anything like that. So, and I just love his face. Like I said, he's just got the cutest face. He reminds me of my friend Jill's old dog, Jack, in a way, because just the face, just the cutest fucking face all the time. Like Jack had a forever puppy face. Oh, even when he started getting his grays, he still looked like a puppy. So Indy reminded me a lot like that because I feel like Indy's going to have like, I don't know how old Indy is, but like a forever puppy face. Where you're just like, cuteness aggression activated. But then the other thing that I really liked about this movie is that it has this like found footage feel, but it's not found footage. And I think that is because it's just from the dog's perspective. We're only seeing scenes like kind of limited in that sense, you know, because we're not getting like multiple angles or anything. But there's just a found footage kind of feel to it. And, you know, I love that. So I was all aboard. Love this movie. I love rewatching it. He's so cute. I just want to scruff his little face. So what else about Indy do you love? Do you have like a favorite Indy scene, Indy moment? All 90 minutes of them? No.
Yeah. A lot of the other stuff I've seen with him. The behind the scenes stuff. Because I saw this in the theater, and when you saw it in the theater, after the credits, there was a behind the scenes short with the director, and he talked about shooting, and he took like one scene where Indy is on the bed and he sees something scary outside, and he's like, this is actually what Indy was seeing. He's like there with a squeaky toy and trying to get Indy's attention, and all these other things, like showing how Indy never once was in harm's way or ever really scared. That he just kind of has that face. The barking and crying noise is just actually the noise that his breed makes. And so it was very much him, and like how it would take, I mean, they shot this over 3 years and roughly 400 days. So
Mm-hmm.
this was a long time. It was all like to make Indy comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's not answering the favorite scene, but I just wanted to add that in because I just think that's important for people to realize is that this dog, Indy didn't know he was in a movie. So he had no idea. He was just like, oh, okay, I get to do something because he's a retriever type dog. And so like he's in the retriever line. So he wants a job and wants to do something. And so here he's got a job. It's hard to pick a favorite because I don't know. Oh my gosh. I should have written down a favorite scene. I wasn't prepared.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to like swing it.
No. I should have prepared a favorite scene. I think, and just because of everything that he goes through, and I actually don't, it's not a scene I like watching. I think it's the hardest scene to watch with Indy when Todd puts him outside and like chains him up outside. And then he's like trying to hide and get away and then trying to break free. And just all of that, watching like this dog and seeing all the lengths that this dog would go to try and get to his owner. He's not even concerned about himself. And that's the way dogs are. Dogs are very selfless creatures, and they are so devoted to their owners usually. And so they want to protect them. And you see that, like, you know, there was a bumper sticker that I saw once that said, God help me be the person my dog thinks I am. And I think that's very true because dogs look at you in a way that you're like, I wish I was this person that my dog thinks I am. And so watching that scene, even though it's so hard to watch because you're like, oh my God, it's raining and he's chained up there and you're angry at Todd for doing that to him. And you're just like, oh my God, poor Indy, don't die, don't get hurt. But it's that devotion. And I just think that devotion is shown so clearly and in one of the best ways I've ever seen it shown on film. So that's what I'm going to say.
Nice.
I came up with one.
I knew you would. But like, yeah, I think my favorite Indy moment is around not like, you know, after he gets chained and everything, but then he is sitting on top of his doghouse in the rain, staring up at the window, just keeping an eye on his owner, staring down Shadow Mudman or whatever the fuck. And then when Shadow Mudman comes and to like get Indy at his doghouse, like, first of all, Indy sitting on top of his doghouse was very like Snoopy and felt very Snoopy Red Baron, which I loved because I kind of feel like Indy was gearing up for his Red Baron moment because the way he just charged at his house, like, fuck you, Shadow Mudman. I don't give a shit. You're pissing me off. I'm gonna bust my own house. And he was just the best boy. So I don't know, that's just one of those like, hell yeah, good for you, let's fucking go moments. But yeah, he's just so stinking cute. And another, like, again, with like Indy's adorable ass little face, the concern that he has, I think, I mean, it comes through a lot throughout the movie, but for me, it's like one of the scenes where we see Todd's face, but in the reflection of like an old TV screen. And like, you know, Todd's crying or whatever. But we see Indy's face and he looks like the most concerned. Yeah. And I'm just like, oh my God, I want to hug that dog. Such a good dog. But it's funny because, you know, we have cats and there's no way you can make a movie like this with fucking cats. Cause it'd be like, oh, well, as long as you feed me, then I guess we're fine. Or they'll stare at something in the corner and then lick their butt. End of movie.
End of movie.
All right. Do you have any like theories as to what was the haunting, the curse or whatever of this family between like the cemetery, the family cemetery, everything that like grandpa went through? There's like the coughing up the blood and then having like the heater there and then like creepy Shadow Mudman coming to take you. Or do you think that's it?
I don't think there was a haunting or a curse. I don't. I think it came off that way because Indy didn't understand it. Todd was dying of cancer, and it was too late to find a cure, and he had been suffering. You see in the very beginning, the first scene in this movie, he's got the blood coming down, and Indy's like concerned, and there's the shadow, and they're not even out there. They're not even at the family like place, the place out in the woods. They're not even in the cabin. They're not, or the whatever. They're not out there. So to me, the shadow figure is death. I don't think at all that there's a haunting. I don't think that there's like a curse. I just think he was dying, and Indy didn't know how to take that. That's why, I don't think there's any more questions to answer, in my opinion. And I think that's another beauty of this film is it's up for interpretation. Because to me, it's just plain and simple about a dog trying to deal with the fact that his owner is dying. And he doesn't understand that. And he's more aware of things than we are because dogs don't have that filter that humans do of like being like, oh, I don't believe in things. And it's kind of like how kids are more perceptive. And so animals are more perceptive to that stuff. And so I think it was never a curse. It was just he was seeing death coming for Todd because he had cancer and he hadn't really been dealing with it and hadn't really wanted to face it. And it kind of took over. I know there are also people that theorize that Todd was actually a drug user and that this was about drug addiction and having to deal with drug addiction as a dog, watching your owner kind of because of how much his personality changed, Todd's. But I think that was just because he was dying and he didn't know what to do. And I think there was a part of him that didn't want his dog to have to deal with that. And so, as a person who's had dogs, you get angry and you're not necessarily angry at the dog, but a dog doesn't understand that and they kind of internalize that. So I think just plain and simple, it was just Todd was dying and that was it. I didn't think of it at all as a haunting at all or a curse at all. No.
Okay. I like that. I feel like, and I like that you're, lots of room for like interpretation with this movie because I took it as some sort of like family curse, some sort of like family haunting. Like, yes, there was like the health stuff, in the beginning and he's in the hospital and everything. But see, my brain after watching the movie was like, okay, so there's something going on, like the family curse or the land is haunted. It got grandpa. It's coming for him. So I was thinking maybe if it wasn't like kind of like a straight haunting or curse, that maybe it was more of like a metaphor for like depression, which is an illness as well.
Yeah.
So I like that. The drug addiction one, I guess I could see that, but it's just I hadn't considered it, so I'm not really like super sold on it. I'm like, okay, I guess I can see that. And maybe just people's lives, they take things in and interpret it for them, and that's totally fine. So, but me, I'm just like, oh my God. Everything's haunted. Why is he at the cabin? Why is his grandpa died, he got sick? But I mean, the cancer makes sense, right? Because it's genetic and grandpa could have had that with the coughing the blood and untreated and all of that. So I like that, but I'm going to stick with mine. No. But no, that makes total sense because as a dog, you're not going to know and fully understand what's going on. So the dog just senses that there's something there, something coming after him, and it's the cancer. Because fuck cancer, man. If Indy could have just like taken out cancer for good and been the hero we all need. What an amazing twist that would have been. What else would you like to talk? I know how much you love this movie. What else have you got?
I mean, that was the big thing I wanted to talk about, but I already did with the fact that I really think that's what this movie is about showing like how dogs don't know how to deal with stuff that humans have to deal with, and they don't know how to let go, and they don't know how they put their lives above their humans' life, or they put the humans' lives above their life, excuse me, and how they will do anything to help their humans and save their humans. It still is kind of hard, even though I know Todd is not feeling well and is sick. It's still hard to watch how dismissive he is of Indy at times, because there's times when he seems like, oh, I really love this dog, and like at the end when he's dead, when his body's there, and then like his spirit is out of his body, and he's talking to Indy, and he's like, how did you get up here? How are you here? And, him realizing he's dead there, and he's very soft and sweet to Indy, and he's kind of like almost apologetic, but it's kind of dismissive. And I think Todd is kind of, because you don't really get to know the humans as much in this, which I am totally fine with, but he's also very dismissive of his sister, because his sister's really worried about him. And his sister keeps saying, dogs can detect things. Has Indy acted different? Has Indy, all that kind of stuff. And he kind of dismisses a lot of things. I think he's a character that is deeply in denial. And so I think it's interesting watching him push Indy further and further away in this movie. And then at the end, kind of embracing him. And then at the very end being like, you can't stay here. You have to go. And really, like, it's a moment almost of him not becoming the dog, but kind of reacting the way the dog does to things, in a way of like, no. You can't put yourself, you can't put me above yourself. You have to save yourself. You can't stay here with me. And I mean, Indy is a dog, so who knows how much of that Indy, acknowledged. But I like to think that because he had that moment with his owner, that's why he chose, when Todd's sister was there, that's why he chose to actually leave. Because I don't think he would have if he had that moment, because he wants to save his owner from death, and he can't do that. He just can't do it. And that was the moment of him kind of like realizing that. So I just think it's an interesting journey for the Todd character too, in his relationship with Indy, because it's like he's very sweet with him, and you see the beginning with the montage of all the clips and of them together and everything, and Indy has a cute little puppy and everything like that. And then you see all the way to the present, and how, because Todd's going through all this stuff, he's pushing his dog away, and that journey as well. So I thought that was interesting too, because I thought it was an interesting choice to not have Todd be like completely 100% a good person to Indy. I thought that was an interesting choice to make. So
I feel like
blabbing I did.
And I feel like that's kind of realistic. If someone is sick or just not themselves for whatever reason, then yeah, you're going to have kind of those like back and forths and everything. So I get it. I get you. I have to say that, like, at the end, right before Todd's sister comes down and finds Indy, I was like, oh my God, if this is going to be like that fucking Futurama episode, I'm putting this whole goddamn movie in the garbage. So I don't know if you're familiar with
No, I don't watch a lot of cartoons, as you know.
Yes. So this one, it's a really great episode, but it's one that I will not ever watch again. And if I do happen to watch it, I definitely don't watch the ending. But Fry, the main character, he was accidentally frozen and is rewoken like in the year 3000 or whatever, and, dethawed and whatnot. And then come to find out that, like, his dog was also accidentally cryogenically frozen, and thawed him out. They have this great time in the episode and reminiscing. And then it gets to a point where Fry has to choose, and he decides to let his dog go. And he's like, well, he had a great life, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure he was fine. I might start crying because this episode can go fuck itself. So it cuts to when Fry doesn't show up to work. The dog's always sitting outside the pizzeria where Fry works. And oh my God.
Aw.
Days, weeks, months go by, years go by, and that dog stayed in front of the pizza place like forever. And until he was all old and whatnot. And I don't think I'm remembering quite correctly, but it's devastating and I will not watch it because Fry's dog was also a very, very good boy and tried waiting for his owner to come back, not knowing he had been cryogenically frozen. Do you think they got inspiration from that episode?
Well, I think that episode totally did that, as there's a true story of this dog named Hachi, and there's a movie called Hachi, which is oh my gosh, and it's about a true story about this dog who their owner went to work, and every time the dog would sit there at the train station and greet their owner. Every time the owner came back, and the owner dies. And is in like the city and dies and doesn't come. And so Hachi goes there every day and continues to wait and makes these friends and waits there forever. And there's like an actual statue of this dog outside the train station where this happened. So they just took that from there.
Oh my God. I didn't know about that. It's actually a beautiful
movie. It's Richard Gere plays the guy who was Hachi's owner. And I can't remember who the other woman in it. I can't remember who the woman is who played his wife. And the dog is incredible. And yeah, I can't remember when that movie was made, but yeah, because when you're telling that, I'm like, oh, that's Hachi. That's the story of Hachi, the dog.
I would 100% believe that because, Matt Groening and the, a lot of references and stuff like that. So I didn't know that was a movie. So now I'm sad 2 times. Thanks.
Sorry. Because it is a true story. It's based on a true story.
Oh, my day got
I get
worse.
what you're saying, because it is like that, the dog is waiting there and devoted. And that is what you realize happened with Bandit, is Bandit just waited there. And that's one fear that I had was when the sister comes and she opens it and she just sees like the skeleton of Bandit. I was like, she's just going to leave. But that's why I was so glad when Indy just popped in, because.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I do like that we don't get a lot of like the clear shots of the people's faces. I don't know why. I really like that. It felt very like Peanuts or like Muppet Babies because, because they're little too. I don't know why. I just got a really big kick out of it. But I like it because I feel like that puts all that much more focus on Indy instead of being distracted with people faces. We just get a cute, fuzzy little face for 90 minutes.
Yeah. Well, the director and his wife stood in for both of them when they were shooting, because it was easier for them because Indy knew them and was comfortable with them. So I think that was another reason it was kind of done that way, is to kind of make, and plus it's from the dog's point of view. So everything's going to look different and kind of a weirder perspective, like height wise and everything like that. So yeah, I love that they really stuck with it. Like the scene when they're arriving at the cabin and it's raining and pouring, and Indy's stuck in the car while he's trying to get the gate, and you don't go outside to the gate. You are in the car just watching Indy. And yeah, I liked that too. So
yeah, and like when Todd's getting the generator from the neighbor guy and Indy's just sitting in the car and closes the trunk. And I think that's what helps give it that found footage feeling for me, because we don't ever go to like any exterior shots of Indy's not there, So the fact that we're still in the vehicle and we're seeing everything he's seeing and not joining Todd outside or anything like that. I think that's what it is that gives it that found footage feel. So oh my God, like found footage where like you attach a GoPro on the dog next time. Oh my God, that'd be so dizzying.
That'd be hard to watch. That would be really hard to watch.
So hard to watch.
Yeah, that'd be really hard to watch. Yeah.
Anything else?
I do like that you get to see some dream sequences in a way, but they're not done in like this like weird way. They're very much like they kind of fit with what he is experiencing, what Indy's experiencing. And I really liked that they showed dream sequences of stuff happening to Indy and seeing like a lot of the stuff with Bandit, and then also just other little things that he's trying to discover. And I'm glad that they included some dream sequences, but didn't make them so outlandish, or didn't have Indy also wake up like, something like that. I'm glad that didn't happen. And the neighbors, I don't know what to think of the neighbor. He's kind of a busybody, I guess. He's so nosy, but he did save Indy from Indy got trapped in that, fox thing. And so I liked that, but he was still kind of like the first time you see when he's got all of the camouflage on, it's like, geez, that's extreme.
Yeah. You couldn't even take the mask off, and you're just talking like, he's a good boy. Like, dude, that's freaky. Like, you're lucky Indy's a good boy, because some dogs don't like uniforms and stuff like that. So
it's very true. I don't think Fergie would have been too happy with that. Fergie would have been like, get away from me. Would have been barking.
She's like, I'll get you. There's a squirrel in there. I know it.
Yeah.
One of my kind of along the lines of like the dream sequences and like these quote like visions that Indy's having of kind of what happened before. One of the moments that I really liked that I thought was actually, for me, one of the scarier moments was when Indy is sniffing around underneath like the armoire thing. The chest.
I love that scene.
And he sees the bandana and he sniffs it and he gets the thing. And then the way he like scurries out, like, oh my God, I was like, is he really scared? He seems really, really like legit. See, those are the moments where I'm like, is Indy okay? But he did such a good job. He was such a good boy. I hope he got all the pig ears and the belly rubs and everything.
Yeah, that scene is done so well. And then when like the bandana drops and it's with like a squelch and there's blood, it's very, and him doing that little like skirting away, trying to get away. And I did appreciate that, where it showed Indy. I'm not saying I wanted to see Indy scared, but showing that fear of like him diving under the bed and not knowing and hearing the thuds of the footsteps, and then it ending up being Todd, and Todd being, this is the first time he comes back and he's really kind of a dick to Indy. But yeah, that was a great, I thought that was a really well done scene. Actually, I really, really liked that scene.
I agree. Yeah. I thought that was like very, like, for a movie that is starring the dog, that was definitely very, and not a lot of dialogue or anything like that, but that was so effective. Because now it's bloody, like you said, it like splats on the floor. Yeah. Ugh, it was gross, but so very well done. And it's like, there were a couple of other kind of jump scare-ish moments, just like a hand comes out of somewhere that was just like, but like nothing that is just going to make your heart stop or anything. It's PG-13, so it's safe.
Yeah.
I think that's it for me. That feels weird.
I did want to just add, the editing in this movie is so good, because it's key to make the audience feel and go on this journey with Indy. And it's easy when it's a dog. It makes it a little bit easier, and especially when it's a dog as cute as this and as expressive as this. But also just hats off to that, because editing is sometimes the unsung hero in movies, and it can make or break a movie. It can make a movie better. It can add to the tension, and it's very, very important in this movie. And I just hats off for that. And then also, hats off for the score. I think the score is so good. The score adds a lot of tension too.
Yeah.
Because sound is so important in a horror movie. And even the score being over all of the credits where you're still, at least me, I watch the whole credits because you're just watching Indy's face. So why would you not want to watch more of Indy?
Just hanging out the window. Oh, yeah. No, me too.
Yeah. And he even looks sad and like he's kind of mourning his owner.
Yes. No, I 100% agree.
Yeah. But I just wanted to make sure to give a shout out to the editing because that's why this movie works so well. Yes, Indy, definitely. Indy is incredible. But the editing helps make the performance from Indy seem even more real. Because once again, this dog had no idea he was in a movie. He was not being scared. They took very, very good care of him. He was very, very spoiled, I'm sure. So, and then he got spoiled after this, went to so many red carpets and went to so many events. I mean, he's probably got a bit of an ego now. So
I'd love to see him with like little sunglasses and like the towel on his head like he's at a spa. Like, I'm big time.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, the editing is fantastic in this movie. I agree. Yeah. Oh, and then the one other thing with Indy that when he gets the one scene where he gets really scared and he piddles a little bit, I feel bad for him because I'm like, oh my God, you poor scared puppy dog.
I know.
Oh, I just want to hug him. But he's such a good boy. That's why this movie is called Good Boy, because that's just what he has. Yeah. That's my note is like, I loved he charged at his little doghouse, such a good boy. And then I wrote, gasp. Like, that's how they came up with the name of the movie. I'm kind of an idiot sometimes. So.
No, you're not. Oh, and the blood, the quote unquote blood that gets splattered on him. I can't remember. It was some kind of like sweet something that was actually appealing to Indy. So it wasn't like he actually got like fake blood, really. Like I think they made it some way where it wouldn't be harmful to him or anything like that. I mention these things because I remember when the trailer first dropped and there were people like going, this dog looks like he's doing a great job, but he looks like he's being put through a lot. He's being put through a lot and they might be abusing him and all this stuff. And I'm like, and I kept telling these people, I'm like, go research, go watch any interview. The fact that they took 3 years to make this movie, all because they wanted to make sure that Indy was okay. They changed things in the script because they're like, yeah, there's just no way we're going to get this because Indy's just not going to be able to do this. And so they were really looking out for Indy the whole time. So I just say that stuff because I know it can be, you watch it and go, how did they do this without harming the dog in any way? And he wasn't. He was treated very well. So they put the dog's needs first because it was very important to them. They didn't want to get another dog because a lot of times what they'll do is they'll have several dogs that'll stand in for the main dog. But they didn't want to do it. They did have like a stuffed dog.
Sure.
Sure. Like I can't remember what they called it. Oh, I wonder if it's in the trivia. But yeah, because I mean, like they took like hours to capture like one little shot because of that. So.
And I love how much time and care that they took. When I read that took them like 3 years to make the movie, I was like, holy shit. But in reading that it was to make Indy comfortable and not rush and, use this. I thought that was actually really, really brilliant and considerate. And yeah, it's a dog, but like, he doesn't age. You know what I mean? He's at like a good dog age where he looks so good, versus middle-aged dog, a little older and maybe starting to show some of the distinguished grays, but no, I love that. And I'm glad that you mentioned that because as much as I appreciate people being concerned for animals on set, it's also like, let's take a breath and like you said, just make sure you know what you're talking about before you just start blabbering on. But I appreciate their concern, but I also appreciate, obviously, that the time that they took, the owners, like you said, were like stood in for a lot of shots and some scenes to get those reactions from Indy. And like, yeah, how does he not have an ego now? It's like,
I know.
I took 3 years to make a movie. They took 3 years to make a movie, all for me. It's like, that's right, they did. You're such a good boy.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I understand the concern because there is a history of animals not being treated well in the film industry. Just look up stories about the movie Milo and Otis, and you'll never want to watch that movie. So it's just, there is a history of that. There's a history of animals dying on sets, being killed on sets. There's all that kind of stuff that does go on. And that's why, you have like people there to watch and everything like that. But so I get it, but just at least research before you do that, because when this movie was coming out, the amount of videos and interviews with the director and with Indy there, but with the director and with his wife, it's just like, it was like tons and tons of interviews talking about the process. So, yeah.
So some people probably just chose not to see those and just get up on their soapbox.
Yeah, well, I think they just like saw the trailer and they didn't look at anything and they just instantly jumped to commenting, which is just a lot of what people do nowadays. So.
Yeah, sure is. So, all right. Yeah, I think that's it. I know I always say that, and then I have like 3 more things. But all right, that is it. No more stray bubbles.
Surprisingly, I don't think I have any more. I'm like, there probably will be something that'll come to me when we're done that I didn't think of. But I'm glad I really wanted to mention the score and the editing, so I did that. So
I always, whenever I'm editing, I'm like, damn it, I forgot to say this or mention this or ask them this. So I'm sure that will happen again, but it's what it is. Nothing I can do about it in this moment. I can't shake information from my head like I need to. Just to get it all out there. So, all right. Well, then I guess we'll go ahead and move on to the Midwest goodbye. And this is the beginning of the end. We've done our whelp knee slap, and we're going to stand at the door, but without it open because it's hot as fuck. And first up is the 6 Degrees of Nicolas Cage, and that's where we connect this movie to Nicolas Cage in six steps or less. Why? Why the fuck not? Erin, how'd you do?
I love what I did, and I was like, this is going to be impossible. How is this going to happen? But I could use Indy because I did not know this until looking Indy up. But Indy is in Daredevil Born Again as an emotional support animal in 9 episodes. I'm like, oh my gosh, I guess I need to watch that. That made me so happy because I was like, I really was thinking we might never see Indy again. He might appear in one of Ben Leonberg's future projects, which I want to say he has signed on to do future projects. I think he deserves to have a career, a really long-lasting career. He's shown a lot of promise, and I can't wait to see what he does next. And I don't want him to do the same thing. I did want to say that. That just popped into my head. Because I know there were calls to do like, well, maybe do another perspective from some other animal or follow Indy on another thing. And no, then it turns into a gimmick.
Yeah.
Let him do other things. I'm sure he wants to do other things and not just the Indy thing.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that he's getting offered other stuff. But anyway, so yeah, I guess Indy is in Daredevil Born Again. See, he's probably really got an ego now. And also in that is Vincent D'Onofrio, who was in The Salton Sea with Val Kilmer, who was in Bad Lieutenant Port of Call, New Orleans with Nicolas Cage.
Nice. I also wanted to use Indy since he is the star of the show, of the movie. So, yes, his only other credit right now is Daredevil Born Again. But with Vincent D'Onofrio, who is in Men in Black with Tony Shalhoub, who is in Honeymoon in Vegas with Nicolas Cage. So, but the one step would be Larry Fessenden, the guy who played the grandpa. He was in Bringing Out the Dead with Nicolas Cage as, I believe, Crackhead. or cokehead. I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
I know. I was like, I thought he looked familiar. Oh, he's in Bringing Out the Dead. And then I saw his credit. I was like, I don't fucking know that.
That movie. Wow, that movie.
And that's such a good movie. But he does have just like a shitload of acting credits, TV shows, and stuff like that. So I'm sure I have seen his face a dozen times.
Yeah, I was just I was like, is there any way I can use Indy? And then when I clicked on him and I was like, I didn't know he was in Daredevil. What the hell, man?
I know. I still have to watch the second season, but now I'm even more motivated to. I was like, oh my God, Indy the dog and John Bernthal is the Punisher. Yes, please. So, all right. Oh, well, that's awesome. I'm glad we both used Indy with Daredevil, but did not take the same path. So that just tells you how connected Sir Nicolas Cage is. All right. Up next is what's been streaming in your bubble. So, Erin, what else have you been watching or reading? What else have you been up to?
Well, I watched the final season of The Bear, which I loved, really loved. I think the series finale is really, really good. I cried. I really think it was near perfect last season. I really, really loved it. I thought the way they chose to do it at first, I was a little bit like, ooh, I wonder if I'm going to like this. But I really liked it a lot. And we're going to be doing a bonus episode. I don't know when this is dropping, but we're going to do a bonus episode on my podcast in August talking about it. So, yeah. And then the Vampire Lestat. I finally liked one episode a lot, and that was episode 6. But I am not a fan of this season, and it makes me so sad, so incredibly sad. I know I'm kind of in the minority, although I guess there are other people that aren't liking it. I understand it's a change. It's a shift in tone. I get that. I was expecting that. It's honestly, parts of it have made me physically ill to watch. And I'm not going to say anything because of spoilers, but it's been so disappointing because I love Interview with the Vampire so much. It's like, I think one of the best shows ever. And so then to go from that to watching this, and I was so excited and just being like, nope. There are certain things I like. I really liked episode 6. And there's a very specific reason why I liked episode 6, but I'm just not feeling it. I do think Sam Reed is fantastic. I think the whole cast is fantastic, but it's not because of Sam Reed. It's not because of him. It's because of the storyline, and it's missing something that, that made Interview with the Vampire special. And that makes me very sad because I was so excited for it. So I'll just mention those 2 things because there's a bunch of other things. Oh, if you haven't watched Obsession, it's available on Peacock right now, starting today when we're recording this, but it's available there. You can also buy a copy of it. I have a copy of it coming to me right now. Embrace physical media. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's a bummer to hear about how you feel about the Vampire Lestat. So I'll see if I can figure it out as I watch. It'll be like a twin it to win it, but not really. I'll be like, ooh, what is it that she doesn't like? That'll be a fun game for me. Let's see. So I'm still just cycling through the same handful of horror movies like I just have been doing for like the last couple of months. It's my happy place. It's my comfort rewatching. But I've also finished a couple of books recently, and one of them was The Haunting of Alejandra by V. Castro. So fucking good. It mixes like the La Llorona folklore and also dealing with like really heavy shit like postpartum depression, generational trauma. But there's very much good for her kind of moment, where there's like a reclamation of oneself at some point, the breaking of cycles. So it's very good. It's very satisfying, but oofda. Some heavy themes, but I thought they did it very well. And then another one that I finished was Stolen Voices by Felix Blackwell. Also very good. And that one kind of deals more with like mimics and like sleep disorders, family loss, depression, childhood trauma. So I'm just really digging. So if I'm not watching horror, I'm reading horror. And, as we've talked about and mentioned before, horror can be very cathartic for people, very therapeutic. It's a great way to talk about very heavy issues. And so far, these two books I thought did a fantastic job. But like heavy on the trigger warnings for The Haunting of Alejandra, but it's so fucking good. I thought it was so very well worth it. And Stolen Voices, like I said, also very, very good. I have decided that when it comes to audiobook narrators, feminine sounding narrators doing a male character voice is better than masculine sounding narrators doing a feminine voice. That bothers me, I realize, because Stolen Voices is narrated by a man. It's told through the boyfriend fiance perspective, and that's fine. Like, he does a really great job, but there's just something about when the men try and do a girl voice that feels patronizing.
No, I know what you're saying.
it feels that way. But then when females or whatever are doing the male character voices, like, it's fine. That's exactly how I think some of these characters sound. So I don't know why all of a sudden that stuck out, but it's one of those things that once you notice it, you can't unnotice it. Yeah. So I went to go start my third audiobook, and it was narrated by a man, and I was like, no. And I returned it. I was like, no thanks. I'll find something else. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I just, like I said, my handful of horror movies. Late Night with the Devil, The Descent, 13 Ghosts, The Final Destinations are also now in that mix. Evil Deads. Like, I watched Evil Dead Rise the other day after our Twin It recording for you. So I was like, yeah, she didn't care for Burn, which that sucks. So
yeah, that does suck. Yeah. But yeah.
All right. Well, that is going to do it for us today. So, Erin, thank you so much for joining me and talking about the bestest boy and this movie that he was in.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And if you want to go ahead and let listeners know about your podcasts and where they can find you, you can do that now.
Yes. So my main podcast is It's a Fandom Thing. And you can find all our past episodes. We've got over 600 episodes at our website. It's a fandomthingpod.com. We will be doing we do a horror month. Horror is my favorite genre. And we're also going to be doing a horror trivia in October. So lots of good stuff for horror fans out there. We're going to be covering, and Jen will be on quite a few of these episodes. We're going to be covering The Craft, The Faculty, disturbing behavior. And we are going to be talking about obsession as well. We're going to be doing 2 episodes talking about obsession. I feel like I'm forgetting another one that we're doing, though. The Craft, The Faculty, disturbing behavior. I'm forgetting one. I don't know what I am forgetting. Oh, Tales from the Dark Side. Oh, no, Tales from the Crypt. Tales from the Crypt, yeah. The TV show, because you can now stream that on Shudder. So we're going to be doing that one. And we're going to be doing 2 episodes covering obsession. Now, the reason we're doing that is when I've never had this happen.
Y'all are obsessed.
Well, no, I have never had this happen ever in the history of the podcast. I released the schedule. I email it to people, and it filled up like within the first half hour. And then the backups filled up, which I've never had those fill up. So I have 3 main people, and then I had 3 backups fill up, like literally like the last spot in the episode, 2 seconds later, someone wanted to be on. And then so they got a backup. Then 2 seconds later, someone wanted to be on. And they got the second. And then 2 seconds later, someone else wanted to be on. And I'm like, well, you're the 3rd backup, just to let you know. And then I was like, okay, we'll just do a 2-parter then, because it's breaking records all over the place. So now it's breaking records for the podcast.
Yay!
So we'll be doing 2 episodes on it, which I'm not complaining because I love that movie so damn much. So hopefully soon Jen will watch it. Now that it is on streaming, it's physical media as well.
Mhm.
So hopefully you'll get a chance to watch it. But yeah, so lots of horror stuff. Also in December, we will be talking about the Silent Night, Deadly Night remake, which I think is a fantastic film. And once again, it's a little bit of spoilers, but you can watch this scene anyway. If you want to watch Santa Claus slaughter a bunch of Nazis, this is the film for you. It's a very therapeutic scene.
And why wouldn't you? That's just the gift that keeps on giving. Like, it doesn't matter what you celebrate.
Exactly. Although there were people in the comments when they released that, like, oh, what the hell is this about? You know.
Okay, Nazi sympathizer.
Why are you making this political? I'm like, horror has been political since day one, dumb butts. But anyway, so.
And Santa's kind of political, right? Like, he's like
That's
this
true.
judge and jury of like
That's
who's
true.
good with his altruistic, whatever, his list of little boys and girls. Like,
That's true. That's true. That's true. Yeah, you should watch that movie, Jen. You should watch that movie.
Totally. You know, I love watching Nazis getting massacred.
I think you'd have a blast with it. I think it's a really good remake that makes it its own, and I like what they decided to do. I think Rowan Campbell, who plays Billy, aka also Santa, does a really fantastic job. I think he is a great addition into the horror field. He, of course, first kind of got notice. He's in Halloween Ends, which I won't go into who he plays, but that's where he first got notice. So I think he's a great addition to horror. He's a little bit odd and weird, and I love that. So yeah. Oh, and I also co-host a podcast called It's a Dean Thing about Dean Winchester from Supernatural. And yeah, we just talk about Dean Winchester, me and Paula and Moth. So I'm done.
Awesome. Yeah. So make sure you go and check all of those things out. Did you make a list? Did you write them down? Rewind if you need
Make
to.
a list,
It's quite
checking
right.
it twice, like Santa.
That's right. We're getting into the Christmas spirit
See,
already.
Here, I even own the physical hard copy, the steel
Yes,
book
you
of
do.
Silent Night, Deadly Night.
That's kind of a sexy cover. What? Show that us. Yeah, that's a little hot. Santa's gonna slay. I love it. Well, all right. And then, so make sure you guys go follow and listen and download episodes and share and everything of all of Erin's podcasts. And then make sure you do that for our monthly podcast, Twin It Twin It, where we watch horror movies and then guess how the other one feels. It's a good time. Everyone has fun. We never disagree. And then make sure you do all those things
Never.
Never, ever. So, and then make sure you're following My Streaming Bubble on all the socials and your preferred podcast player. So again, Erin, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you everyone for listening, and keep streaming. Goodbye.
Bye. Oof, sorry, that was so lame. I can't believe I did that.
I'm so happy you did that. If you're enjoying this podcast, be sure to let me know by rating and reviewing on a podcast player near you, and by sharing your favorite episodes with your friends, family, and mail carrier. Then be sure to follow me on all your favorite socials like Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky. Just search My Streaming Bubble and I should pop on up there for ya. If you have suggestions on what I should stream in my bubble next, or you want to be tolerated, send an email to mystreamingbubble@gmail.com. Looking for merch? Stop by my Redbubble store where you can find and buy My Streaming Bubble stickers, hats, shirts, and more. You can also head over to buymeacoffee.com and, well, buy me a coffee. Need more podcast me in your life? Then be sure to check out my other podcast, Twin It to Win It. That's a monthly podcast that I co-host with my podcast brain twin, Erin from It's a Fandom Thing, where we test our twinningness. by trying to guess if we both feel the same way about different horror movies. You can find and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky. And most importantly, you can listen, rate, review, and share from most podcast players. Thank you for your support and keep streaming. Goodbye.